Well, good morning, friend. May the 27th, Thursday morning, and I'm coming down to the close of the weekend. And I hope that you are doing well today. And today is a big day for my family. My daughter gets married to Randy Hall. And I just wanted to give a shout out to those two, hoping that they have a wonderful life together. And I was thinking out this morning, my wife and I, we've spent the last 21 years preparing my daughter for this day. And of course, we're looking forward to it, and hope that you had a good night last night in church. We certainly did. Had, of course, a lot of visitors in because of the wedding, and full house last night. Great lesson on prayer as we learned some more about prayer. And when God, when we don't, what do we do when God doesn't seem to be hearing our prayer? What do we do? What's our response? That's what we learned last night, and it was a good night. I hope that you had a good service as well. And as we prepare for Memorial Day weekend and honoring those who've given their of themselves to our country, certainly are appreciative of that. And let me just say thank you to all of those who have served our country in one way or the other. And I'm in honor that people would do so. I want to read to you this morning from Isaiah chapter 29, verse 11. We're going to be talking about this morning the enemy of success. It says in Isaiah 29:11. And the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed, which men deliver to one that is learned, saying, Read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I cannot, for it is sealed. And when I was a boy, there were some things that my parents, and especially my mom, would not allow me to do. One thing my mom would never let me do is give an excuse as to why I couldn't do something. My mom used to say, I can't, never did anything. And whenever I came to my mom and I said, I can't, she'd always told me to go back and figure out a way to accomplish it. She said she'd tell me that there is a way to get it done. I just have to use my brain to think about how to get it done. Now, sadly, we live in times where I can't is excuse for laziness and the lack of initiative to find a way to overcome. Now, the verse I just read to you, God said that the prophets would tell the people to read this, but they responded by saying, I cannot, for it is sealed. Instead of saying they could not open the book because it was sealed, they should have set out to find a way to unseal that book. To say I can't means that they didn't really even try. Now, in the very next verse, God said that the prophets would deliver God's word to the unlearned and tell them to read it. But they would respond by saying, I am not learned. Instead of saying that they could not read the book because they were not educated, they should have set out to learn how to read so they could read the book. You see, the fact that these people used I can't as their excuse is what led them to not please God. These people would have succeeded at obeying God had they figured out a way to obey the prophets. Now, my friend, you will always find an excuse if you need one. There is no situation that won't offer you an excuse not to overcome it. Excuses are everywhere. They're plenteous, but they're the easy way out, but they never get you any further in life. Get that. If you allow your excuses to be your response to every difficulty in life, you'll continue to flounder and live in mediocrity and failure. Now, saying I can't is to say that God's not strong enough to overcome your problem. Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ which strengtheneth me. You see, you're calling God a liar when you say that it can't be done. The fact that God allowed the opportunity to come your way is proof that God believes that you can do it. You always say, I can't, when you are looking at your strength and resources. But you'll never say, I can't, when you look at challenging situations through God's strength. You see, the difference between I can't and I can is whether you choose to see situations through your strength or through God's. Now, if success were easy, everyone would be successful. So instead of looking at your impossible situations by saying, I can't, what you need to do is be determined to find a way to overcome the impossible. No, you'll not do it on your own, but you can overcome what seems impossible if you're determined to find a way to do it. You've got to throw the excuses out the door and determine to figure out a way to see your way through whatever you're going through to succeed in life. Now, let me ask you this. Has "I can't" become your excuse that you use to face when you face difficult situations? As long as you say, "I can't," you're hindering yourself from finding the success that God has for you. If you'll delete "I can't" from your vocabulary and choose to find a way to overcome difficulties, success will be found. You see, the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not the difficulty of the situation. The difference between success and failure is success says, "There's a way, I'll figure it out." Failure says, "I can't," and they give up. What are you going to do? You're going to let whatever you're facing today be the thing that causes you to fail? Or are you going to say, "Well, God sent it my way. Apparently, there's a way. I don't know what it's going to be. I'll work, I'll pray, I'll ask God. We're going to figure out a way." That's how you overcome difficult circumstances. God gave you this brain right here to think. Use it. Get a hold of God. Get his strength. Overcome your problems. You'll find a way that you can overcome every problem in life. You see, that's the secret to success, is throwing "I can't" out, say "I can" through God's strength, and figure out a way. Go forward and figure out a way. I hope this is a help to you, my friend. Hey, remember today, be good to everybody. Everybody's having a tough time. Have a great day, my friend.